Hi, everyone. My name is Brian Weltman, and welcome to the ESL Board's English Language Teaching Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about China's new education sector crackdown on tutoring companies. As you guys know, who have been teaching online to Chinese students, on July 24th, the Chinese government issued guidelines to reduce the educational burden on students receiving compulsory education, part of which involves regulating the after-school training market, which has attracted wide attention from the whole society. So what does this mean? It means, so the policy background says students in compulsory education are under great pressure of examination competition and have heavy academic burden. In order to get a better grades, parents hoped to help their children become more competitive through after-school training programs, such therefore in high demand, thus charging high fees and imposing a financial burden on families. China has a low birth rate and a high cost of education, is one of the factors that discourages fraternity. On the high concentration of capital makes the after-school training industry fiercely competitive and accumulates high risk, no matter if there's a monopoly or an industry depressions. It would be a serious blow to the children and their families who need after-school training. So what is double reduction? This is to ease financial burden of education on Chinese families and reduce family support and education to a reasonable level, thus increasing the overall fraternity rate. What impacts does this policy have on ESL online teachers? The following contents only a collection of a few aspects of the policies that may affect the ESL teachers, rather than the whole policy's content, double reduction options. Scope of the impacts are restriction on enterprises who conduct training on subject classes. Subject classes are related to college entrance examinations, including Chinese, mathematics, English, history, chemistry, biology, physics, geography, and politics. However, STEM programs are not going to be affected. Age groups that will be affected from this policy are preschoolers, students in compulsory education in China, high school students. Number 3 is training time. Training is not allowed on public holidays, rest days, or winter and summer holidays. Daily training must be completed before 2100 hours Beijing time. Policy details. TR has sorted out the policy detailed from the double reduction options, which could potentially affect ESL teachers. So number 1, students who carry out volunteer after-school activities after 4 o'clock and end time should be no earlier than the local normal work time of 6 o'clock or 1800. The end time of the training should be no later than 2100 Beijing time. The possibility of the impact of the future would be, with this implementation, the policy and development of school activities, number of students would voluntarily stay at school until 1800 will increase. So peak period of training will probably be from 1800 or 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. This does not allow to employ foreigners abroad to carry out online training activities. The possibility of future impacts, future nationals outside of China will not be allowed to carry out training on subjects or to student groups related to double reduction policy. The employment of foreign nationals in China shall comply with China's relevant regulations. The possibility of the future impact means that foreign teachers in China are required to meet relevant qualifications, such as, educational background, their TESOL certificate, and other teaching experience. But the double down reduction options only represent the policy direction that does not have legal constraints on enterprise, but impacts have been shown. We will continue to pay attention to the follow-up progress. So how can we help? Our ESL board's going to help ESL teachers. In contract, we're going to enterprise located in other countries. We are going to start trying to work with other countries. We're going to try to also push offline ESL teachers who are currently working in China, rarely affected by this policy. Understand, under the current circumstances, ESL boards is exploring the online ESL teaching industry, both online and offline, for opportunities to make plans for overseas teachers to come to work in China and other countries. ESL boards will make more efforts in developing training, market, and adult education, as well as minority language. Understand? For example, have other languages available. And then ESL boards will provide job opportunities in various industries in China to those who would like to come and work in China and share its rapid development. So this is kind of what's been happening. So what I would like to do is get your vote. Given the shrinking online teaching space, what are you going to do during the COVID-19 pandemic? This is a question for you. Please give me some feedback at Brian, BRYAN, at eslboards.com. Thanks for listening to this podcast, and I'm hoping to get your feedback. And please visit eslboards.com and see the many jobs that are posted. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful afternoon.